Assurance that road repairs will be done with quality, 2016 road resurfacing program to begin soon, and emphasis on waste minimization at Studley Park.
Info
Update,
bringing you the latest news, views, and reviews,
along with responses,
comments, and events
affecting you.
brought to you by the Information Division of the Tobago House of Assembly.
The travelling public has had to negotiate road excavation on the Windward Road due to pipe laying and repairs. But the long-term benefits far outweigh the inconvenience. Stephanie Solomon has this story.
If you've travelled on the Windward Road between Mount St. George and John Dial recently, or in the vicinity of Goodwood, you'd most likely have come across excavation works in the area. You'd also have to proceed with caution on the uneven road surface due to a mains laying exercise conducted by the Water and Sewage Authority, WASA. Secretary of Infrastructure and Public Utilities, Mr. Gary Melville, is asking the public for patience while the work is being completed.
We at the Division of Infrastructure and Public Utilities, we are trying to do our best to work with WASA to reduce the period of inconvenience where possible. So that I know, for example, in the work that has begun this week, they would have anticipated that it would take close to 4 months. We are trying to get them to reduce that time. We are also committed to having the area from Mount St. George into John Dial resurfaced in the shortest possible time.
Mr. Melville said the division is assuming responsibility for the road resurfacing once the work is done. This will assure quality repairs are carried out.
We have come to an agreement and we are about to execute a memorandum of understanding that where WASA does any leak repairs, the Division of Infrastructure and Public Utilities will be responsible for the restoration of that area. So that way we'll be able to assure that the roads are restored to the quality that we at the division would basically like.
The Secretary is asking the public for patience. He says the temporary inconvenience is all in the interest of development. I'm Stephanie Solomon for Info Update.
A number of the island's roads have been earmarked for resurfacing, with several streets in the southwest and windward areas being named as priority. Keyshawn Wilson has more.
The island's budget cutbacks mean not every area in need will have their road repairs this year. But the Division of Infrastructure and Public Utilities is trying to ensure those roads in the worst shape get upgraded. Secretary Mr. Gary Melville says work should begin in some of these areas soon.
Within the next week or so, we should start seeing works being undertaken in a number of areas, including the streets of Canaan Bonaccord, including Signal Hill and the Patience area, and some roads that we would have committed to treat with since the previous year's repaving program.
Mr. Melville says a stretch on the Plymouth Road and areas in Speyside, Charlotteville, and Runnymede are also on the list.
We know that we have a challenge in terms of the availability of funding, so that while that might restrict some of our paving, we are hoping that we can at least treat with those areas that are in most dire need.
The Secretary says Daniel Trace in Canby and Riseland and New Providence will also get some attention. I'm Keyshawn Wilson for Info Update.
That's the sound of a tyre shredder at the Studley Park landfill, which will have minced over 4,000 tyres by the end of this week. It's all part of the Division of Health and Social Services efforts to manage and minimize bulk waste at the landfill. Jasia Ibrahim, who is a project engineer at the division, explains how the material will be utilized.
There are a number of different uses for the shredded material, but what we would be using it for, the garbage that we collect daily, it's usually covered, and we cover that with the dirt. So what we're going to do is mix the material from the shredded tire along with the dirt to cover the garbage that we have up at Studley Park here.
There are several reasons for the initiative, Ms. Ibrahim says, which is being done in partnership with Swimcol, which provided the machine.
This is part of the waste minimization project that we have because it reduces the amount of waste that we have up here, because the tires take up a lot of space. So it greatly reduces that amount, and also to combat Zika, right? We know that tires act as a breeding ground for mosquitoes. So that is also part of the initiative to get rid of those tires and to reduce the breeding grounds.
Ms. Ibrahim says the division is looking at other ways to minimize waste on the island. That's it from all of us at the Department of Information. I'm Kearney Freitas, and you've been listening to Info Update.